right now we're vibing out to one of the big tunes by none other than Teddyson John. Sir Teddyson John.
Hi.
Man, I am amazing. We're excited to have you. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm okay. Everything is all right. Cool.
Okay. How is quarantine treating you? Is it a relaxed time or is it a time where you find yourself grinding and creating more things?
A bit of both. When it just started, it was hard to get your mind, around everything that was happening,
Yeah.
Because it's something we really in uncharted waters with this. We've never really, been through something like that, so we don't really know how to maneuver. So I was just trying to grasp and trying to figure out what was what. So my mind was all over the place. Creating it was a little tough to do because, of course, the uncertainty or just not knowing, was a little difficult. But it's gotten better, where creativity and everything is. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, because I saw you were on the live just a couple of days ago showing off some new beats and some. So I see the creative juices are flowing. You were in studio with your brother or your engineer or somebody.
Yeah. My brother been on a cruise ship. He works on a cruise ship as a musician. He had his own band, one of the Caribbean bands. So with this whole thing, he had to. He was not able to go back, to complete his other contract. So he's actually home. So we started dabbling in some stuff and,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, for those of people who are just joining in and for the crazy thought that some people might just be introduced to you, I just want to give a shout out to those people and say this guy right here. First of all, I was telling the people, our audience here, that you were actually at Atlanta Caribbean Carnival last year and you performed on stage.
Yeah.
You brought that energy. You're a soca artist, but it's like you have this inspirational vibe to you. And what's crazy is that I didn't even realize, man, it was last year at this same time. You were here in Atlanta because we're based in Atlanta, CaribbeanLIfeTV. And it's like almost like a year anniversary. I felt like what better way to kind of have this week that we're not having Carnival, as you know, as probably you know.
I got you.
To literally have someone that brings that vibe, brings that positive vibe, that inspiration vibe, that sexy vibe, all of it, all in one, just right here on CaribbeanLIfeTV. So definitely thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So how would you describe yourself as an artist? Like, what kind of artist would you say? Because sometimes I want to say, oh, he's a soca artist. Then some people say, well, it's more like groovy soca. Then some people say, well, it's more like inspirational. And then, so how would you describe the art that you do?
I'm a musician.
Okay.
I'm an artist, that I want to say, like, global music, I don't really like to put myself into a category, because there's just been so many different influences to what I do now, so it's a little difficult to sometimes say that I'm a soca, I'm a reggae, I'm a inspirational, because of my upbringing and because of my influences before. I decided to put it into probably soca music. I was brought up on gospel, jazz, R&B. That's all these things that influenced me. The French side of jazz. That influenced me. So I'm able to put these things into my music, and I just wanted to do something different. I just felt soca needed something different than just the wine and the jam and the run there, rag and flag. Been there, done that. Because there's a lot of things that people go through that a wine and jam can help. So that's what I wanted to do, and then I started doing soca music. Only my first soca song ever was in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
2007. What song was that?
That was a song called "Coming Down the Road." That was a song brought to me, produced by Studio 758. That's Pen and Ace. They actually forced me to try soca. I was doing a lot of the ballads and all these things, working on a cruise ship. I was doing that. So after that, Pen was like, Teddy, try the soca thing. See if it can. You basically have a voice, so it's like you're not gonna be doing anything different. It's just gonna be on a soca beat. So I said I didn't want to, and I tried it. Pen the first one, and then the first song that I ever did won me the Groovy Soca Monarch in St. Lucia, first time ever. And then from there, it's just been.
So at first you didn't want to do it, and you tried it, and you how you felt about it? You felt like you found a niche, or?
I didn't want to do it because I was still I was a church boy. I raised up in the church and thing. So in them kind of time, the church people watching you, all kind of thing. It is the kind of way. So that I didn't really want to do it, and then they said they tricked me into saying, okay, they'll record it and I ain't gonna do no, I'll not, they'll just keep it quiet. So when they recorded the first song, I heard it on the radio. You understand? So people started asking who is that guy, where he come from, this and that, because nobody wasn't really singing, in soca. So I have.
Oh, it frees up. Little Wi-Fi issues there. All right, you're back.
No, a call was trying. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was, yeah, it was that kind of vibe with me,
Mm-hmm.
And then I had from 2007 to 2016. I've been knocking on the door, regionally and internationally, trying to get, noticed and trying to get, trying to go over to Trinidad, trying to do different things, but it wasn't my time yet. I was still trying to find myself, as an artist and what I wanted to do. And it just happened that my first, inspirational song, is what introduced me to everybody, which was Allez. And then everybody got to know me for the first time, and it felt like I was a new artist to that scene because people didn't know probably the body of work before, in the past 10 or what years. So that's how.
And that's what it felt like, because when Allez came out, like for me, I felt like Allez was the first song I had heard from you, but the way it came out, it was so strong and it was so grounded already. It felt like a mature artist. I was like, no, this guy must have tunes from before. And so I was curious. Like what was going on? What was happening before? Mm-hmm.
I was wow. It was. I used to trick a lot of people, especially when I went to Trinidad, because everybody thought I was this new guy that just pop up. But while I was there, I was like, okay, I listened. But when I got on stage, it was a comfortable thing for me because from gospel to jazz festivals, Paris, London, all over, the French Caribbean, Martinique, Cayenne, all these places, I've been performing and I've been doing that, but people didn't know, you understand, what it was. So they didn't know I probably had, experience on a stage from small, choirs in church, to festivals, jazz festivals in St. Lucia and over. So me coming out and do it, a lot of people probably felt like you, where they tried to figure out, okay, this guy not really new, but the sound is fresh. That kind of vibe is fresh. They ain't never, and then coming from St. Lucia too is another thing, because people thought that quality music, could not really come from here, or you wouldn't really get a singer really doing, what
Right.
what he was. Yeah. So I was just happy that I was able to be one of those pillars to represent St. Lucia and tell people where I came from, because they didn't even believe where I came from. That's why I always say Teddyson John from the beautiful island of St. Lucia, because they just thought that St. Lucia didn't have, any kind of quality or something, the small island kind of vibe, so
They probably just lump you in with Trinidad or something like that.
Yeah. People thought I was a Trinidadian. People thought I was number one. They thought Allez came from Trinidad.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, that is St. Lucia. Check yourself. So yeah, that's what it was.
I want to do a quick shout out to some of the people that are watching. We have Big Vibe that's watching right now. He's an artist from St. Lucia, definitely showing love to you as well. I got to interview him. Yeah. And Trini Cindy said that Allez was one of the songs that she first used to teach her class, her soca aerobics kind of class. So I know Allez was a song that was like really like explosive for you, and for me, a big shout out to DJ Emp Love who's in the chat right now. She just had a live-a-thon on Mother's Day weekend to raise money for essential workers, and she wanted all the hosts from Caribbean Life TV to have a little segment. And so my segment, I was like, I don't want to just come in and just not say and just talk and don't have no music. I was like, well, what music can I have in the background? I was like, I need an inspirational song that's still soca. I was like, what song? Allez. So Allez, your song was the song that just popped into mine, and I was like, yo, for real. And so it was right after that I started going back on your page, and you had your live and stuff, and I said, you know what? If when I think inspiration and soca, the first song that comes to mind is Allez. This guy needs to be featured. This guy needs to talk. We need to have a conversation.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's definitely something that is impactful in this time right now, when people are going through all sorts of trials.
A lot of people. I wanted to find my niche. I wanted to find what did I want to bring to the industry, because everybody was pretty much doing the same. Carnival. When you hear carnival, you hear run there. It's either drinks, it's either wind down, it's either wind up, it's either jump in the air, it's either run there everywhere.
Yeah.
Go down. Come up. Every year. Every year is the same thing. So to me, I wanted my music to be timeless, and I wanted songs that can surpass a carnival season. You understand? And with Allez, I didn't know how to handle Allez, because before I decided to change, or I'll tell you something that made me change my lyrics. I was walking through the mall in St. Lucia, and I always, between 2008 and 2016, I used to do a bunch of bumper songs. Every day used to call me the bumper guy. Everything is bumpers, this, bumper that, bumper, hold your bumper. Go down on your bumper, this bumper. So there was this young child, about probably 8 or 9. I was walking through the mall. So she said, "Can I have a picture of you, Teddyson John?" I said, "Yes, it's okay." And before she left, she told me, "Can you do me one favor?" I said, "What's that?" She said, "Can you do a song without mentioning bumper?" Yeah. It ain't no. I felt like it made me feel like it has to be something more that I have to do. It made me feel like throwing away all the songs I ever did before, You know, there's songs that the catalog that I had before, I don't even do it, you know, because of what it was. And I really wanted to, I understood that our music, the kids listen and kids look up to us and kids, you know, so what we put out there is what we teach. What we put out there is what people are going to accept. So for me, I didn't want to, I was like, nah, you know, Teddy, you had to change that. And when a child tells you that, it comes into your heart and just like, you know, it just makes you, it makes you feel worthless, you know, to know that you can do something better, but you're not. And they're kids, you have a responsibility. So I didn't really care what happened. The next year I decided to go inspiration. When I did Allez, nobody didn't really take it on in St. Lucia because we're not accustomed to that. So people wanted the kind of vibe before. And when Allez did it round, I did the video and then it got accepted in Trinidad. That's when everybody else, you know, jumped on it. And then, you know, that's what it was.
Wow. Yeah. And so, well, what was the process of writing Allez? Were you pulling from like a particular experience or particular experiences?
If you notice, Allez, the way Allez came up, I was doing another song that I had called Finally. I released for St. Lucia Carnival. And there was a part in the song that I wanted to make a bridge. And I was downstairs in my band room with my musical director, Pepe, and we just vibing. And we just started a gun, 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 gun. And we were looking for a bridge for one song. But when we started to play, we figured out that is a new vibe of a song, you know. And then I just started hearing the lyrics in my head. Now, if you notice, I use a lot of French or Creole words, you know, not too many lines, but interesting words that people probably hear a lot but don't know the meaning of. Allez means to move, allez means to go. If you're in French and you're telling somebody on a block, allez, 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 go, 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 like move away from me. You understand? So I decided to take these words and write a different approach to it. You understand? I had a different approach to it. So I have one main writer that I normally work with. He's like my third eye. We sit together. We have really strong conversations and talk about life and life experiences. And then we come up, you know, with the songs, the melodies and everything. Everything was there. And it just started to flow. So I want to big up Jeremy Jacobs, who's my, you know, number one writer with me. We like brothers when it comes to putting stuff together. So I just wanted to I kept on hearing this line. I woke up this morning and I'm feeling nice. I heard these things and just, the truth is the path that we choose comes with battles to fight. I chose to be a musician, a full-time musician, and that has its ups and downs. Any path that you choose in your life would have these kind of things. But the thing is that you're going to figure that you can't do it because there's so much negativity around you. You know, sometimes negativity comes from the people closest to you. You know, so my thing is that all the weight on your shoulder, dust it off. You know, if you fall down, just get up. And that was an inspiration by like Donnie McClurkin, Stand. You know, you understand? It for me, all the different influences and everything, I just started to put it together, you know, and created this, you know. And then when people started to tell me what the song was doing to them, I didn't know how to handle it because I've never had people tell me how much a song means to them or what it you know, it does to them. So it's a little, it felt there that what the type of music that I wanted to do was needed because people were going through something that a song like Allez could have helped them through. So I started to just craft my vibe and my road, and while everybody was doing what they were doing, I was, you know, doing this.
Definitely. Well, I hope you know that even though that song is what, like 4-5 years old at this point, still impacting people's lives. It's still changing people's lives. It's become one of those like songs that for me popped right up. I was talking to a business owner, actually is a very popular liquor brand owner here in Atlanta. It's called Ooh Wee Rum Liquor. And I said, I know you love this artist, Teddyson John. I bet you love him. And he said, yeah. He was like, as a matter of fact, I had sent his song Allez to a friend of mine who was going through a hard time. And that song saved her life, man. She was on the edge. And that song really pulled her back off of the edge. So deep things when I talk about, man. Like
when people tell you, when people tell you that, when somebody tells you, you know, I had people told me that, you know, a song like that, you know, prevented them from, you know, putting a rope in their neck and, you know, that kind of stuff. When people tell you that kind of shit, you had to understand yourself and realize more what your responsibility is. You know, so for me, I started to take my responsibility much more, you know, serious and realize that it was just not getting up on stage and doing what you're doing, but actually having a message and telling people, you know, what it is, and through the form of soca music. You understand? So that's where I wanted to go. I just wanted to do songs that go.
Got a little Wi-Fi back. All right, we're back. Yeah.
No call. Call is coming in, so I just have to. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Hold on.
Yes. Trini Cindy Live. She said this is. Oh, you're going through the divorce. Hardest thing to get out of. See, this type of. I'm telling you, Teddyson John, especially that song, really stands out and has impacted a lot of people in a positive way. So just holding it down while he's, you know, handling his phone settings right now. Guys, I hope you guys are really enjoying this interview. All right. Look like we're back. Ready, set, go?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like I was saying, I wanted to do songs that people connect to it more if they're going through the same thing. And if you do a song like growing up, I always wondered how could writers get songs that talk about an exact situation that you're going through, the exact thing, you know. So this is where songs like Vent came from. This is where songs like Kitesa came from. X Games came from. You know, I Pray came from. Dreaming. There's a whole bunch of songs that, you know, it would talk about the exact thing that people, you know, go through. So it can help comfort them.
You definitely have a long list of tracks. I mean, if anybody just kind of goes on their Siri or their Alexa and just says, hey, play Teddyson John, it's just, yo, they don't even have to repeat. It doesn't even have to repeat songs. It just play. I'm like, yo, I thought I knew a good amount of songs, but this song, I never, what?
Yeah, I have a little catalog, but it's just that going through Trinidad and everybody getting to know me in 2016, it's like I had to start all over again. So a lot of people think it's like my fifth year, you know, in the music industry. But really and truly, I've been doing it for like over 15 years.
So did you always think you were going to be a musician? Like growing up, what were you passionate about? Was it music always? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Music. I used to, time of church, I used to play drums. You know, in church I was choirs. In school I always used to be singing in the assembly, in a school show or something. That always had to do with music. I used to beat drums on the desk, interrupting the classes, you know, because I always had music, you know. Got suspended in school because I was singing, you know. I always knew it would have been music. It was always my passion. I didn't know where I got it from because my mom, my dad, not musicians. I happened to get it naturally. We never went to school of music for anything. I play the instruments. My first instrument is drums. If I wasn't a singer, I would be a drummer. I play bass. I play keyboards. It was something self-taught. You know, it was nothing that we went to school for. Another brother of mine plays bass. Another one plays keyboard, but we don't know where we got it from. It's God. But it was always it was always music. It was always music.
And what has this journey like been for you? I guess since Allez, and I mean even other songs that you've continued to make. I mean, you always talk about going through things when people are even speaking negatively about you. Like, what is the experience like for you since you've been in the industry? Has it been just kind of? I think it hasn't been smooth sailing.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been it hasn't been smooth. But it's been something where I get to learn all the time. I learn every day. You know what I mean? I learn every day. The stages that I touch now is stages that I used to watch on television or I used to watch online, and to be a part of it and be accepted. Trinidad is like the United States of soca. That's where you get a visa, a stamp. So if the music does good over there, then it trickles down. So everybody, I haven't gotten any negativity from Trinidad in terms of love and stage and people wanting to, see your vibe. And it's just because of me, the kind of person that I am, cool, laid back, chill, smiling. I ain't no stress. I'm just a easy person. Just learning to give thanks to the simple things and little things that people take for granted. I don't. It's been tough sometimes because, the season also is a season, or the industry is an industry. You do something one year and then the next year, it can be tough. Or there are people that had, huge monsters and then the next year they just fall off the map. And I never wanted that. I never wanted a huge monster. I wanted songs that could have, so I was just like floating, building the repertoire, floating, building, yeah.
Plateau and step up, plateau and step up.
So every year it got like that, Did stuff with Kes, did stuff with Cohen, lyrical, voice, speechless. We did stuff with Blacks. It's just been that kind of vibe. It's been something where I'm learning all the time, and I have no stress, really with it. Everybody in the industry knows who I am. They know me. They know the kind of person I am. So I cool with that,
Yes. And so, as you said, it's kind of hard to pin you into just a soca artist. It's because you also use a lot of different influences in your music. I mean, because I was listening to even some songs that had a little bit of a reggae beat to it. I was surprised. I think it was African Woman. I was like, wait, is this I had to ask my Alexa, my Siri. I was like, is this Teddyson John?
That was my first, one of my first recordings ever with African Woman. That was my first recording ever.
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was a virgin there. I was a virgin there, to the mic and thing. So that's the kind of vibe it was. So African Woman is one of these. My brother, the actual guy that you saw me on the live with, my brother actually produced that track.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, there's a lot of diversity in your music, man. And where do you see yourself going, like, in the future? I know it's kind of challenging now based on all that's happening with the pandemic. I'm sure that's impacted your show and your tour schedule.
Yeah.
Clearly. But I mean, just kind of feeling your way through. I mean, what can people kind of stay tuned for or look out for from you?
I believe the music, or what I have to say, the world needs to hear. I feel like I've been placed here to give a message. I have a feeling, God using me in some way to do something, because I have conversations with God and just find out, like, hey, what am I supposed to do? Really and truly, I was like, any other song that I ever did before never impacted people like what the positive ones are doing. So that means I've been here to do that and give that. I'm working on something beautiful as we speak. I think people are going to appreciate the body of work. that we're doing. It's something supposed to pop off next month. But I'm excited about it because it's very different. I can't say too much about it, but just stick to the IG and you know you're gonna get to know what is it. I'll say it's definitely an album, you know, but
okay, a whole album.
Yeah. But it's what kind and what kind of vibe. So it's gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be beautiful. I think it shows the real, you know, the musician comes out, you know, that kind of vibe in it. So I'm happy to be able to flow like that and showcase, you know.
So there's a lot of diversity in it, or the ladies, you said beautiful, and I'm like, beautiful, does that mean it's like soft and sultry? Does that mean it's
you gain real vocals inside it? You know what I mean? You're going to get real, you know, I can't give too much, you know what I mean? But it's going to be beautiful, and I'm really proud of it. You know, because it was an idea that I had, and I called up a couple of people, and I was like, hey, and everybody say, hey, you know. So I'm very proud of it. I think it don't matter how it goes, I will be proud of this one because of what it is.
Wow. And you feel like you've really, I feel like you're continuing to kind of grow in even your spectrum of who you are as an artist, because following your page, I'm seeing that you're a very spiritual person. You're not afraid to speak out and to post pictures showing your love for God, you know, your journey within, you going through reflection periods. And I think that's very meaningful because it shows it's a more vulnerable side that a lot of people don't know about themselves.
Yeah. It's for me. It's how I was raised, and there are things I didn't used to do. So not because I'm in like everybody in the industry knows Teddy don't drink, Teddy don't smoke. It's shocking, you know, but they know that. So when they got to know me, they know I will steal out your chaser and drink out all your orange juice. They know me and your ginger ale. So for me, I was raised on certain principles, so not because I'm in the industry now to act like. So you ain't gonna see me from no bottle popping and hey and shop. Nah, I ain't that. It's just me, not me. I've never done it before. I can have a good time without, you know, doing it. I don't need no high to go on stage. I don't need to smoke something to go on stage. I don't need to sip up something to go. It's a natural vibe and it's a natural energy. So for me, you know, it's everybody got to know me and they know Teddy like that. So it's you mentioned something like I am growing into probably my purpose and being more comfortable. I think last year was probably the year that I really started to be comfortable with me and what I do and accept that. I had to accept, number one, I'm a singer. So you're going to get harmonies. You're going to get all different things. You're going to get that in your face because sometimes in the industry, it you know, people feel like you do too much because, you know, you're not going to, you understand? But I'm a singer. I can't act like I don't sing. I'm a singer. That's what God gave me. So that's what I use. So when you listen to songs like X Games, like what I did with Private Ryan, you know, this year, and then you hear them harmonies and you hear different things, and you know, that's me. That's me being me. That's me with all of my different influences being me.
Right.
You understand? Right. So I have to accept that. Accept that's what I do. Yeah.
Okay. And you know, I wanted to kind of ask you. I do notice you post about your daughter and things, and I was like, whoa, I love the fact that I was wondering, do you feel like she's like the motivating factor behind your music, or how does that kind of, I was wondering if that is an influence to why you kind of more so are, I guess, more proper with your lyrics? Is it because you're a dad?
Well, you have children that watch, you know. If my daughter likes something, I know it good. You know, if my daughter, there's songs that I've played, you know, and my daughter had the chorus, you know, when I had the pale, 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 she was, so I knew. I figure if kids can sing your song, it's a hit. You understand? So when you had songs and people singing the entire event. People don't know you, but they want to judge you. You have to get something that, you know, everybody can relate to. So with her, anytime I play something, I'd ask, you know, you like that? You know, and she's like, yeah, daddy. And other songs, she tell me, no, daddy.
She said no? Okay, I was like, does she ever say no, though? Does she? Or is she just...
So for me, she's definitely an inspiration. And being on the road a lot, like, like for instance, in this quarantine period, I'm realizing the amount of time I haven't spent with her the way I'm supposed to spend, because I'm always on the road, and it's been with the industry. There's carnivals every month, every weekend, so sometimes it's from one thing to the next, you know. From my month off was in March, and after March with Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Bermuda, Bahamas, you understand, Antigua, Grenada, St. Lucia, Cropova. We had that whole thing going. So we definitely getting to do stuff that we've never really gotten to do before. And it's just because Daddy's been on the road trying to work and trying to be hard, you know, to make sure that, you know, they're okay. So that's just what it is.
Right. Yeah. Whoa. So I know it's challenging to balance all of that and still be a good father and all of that.
That's hard sometimes, but she got a strong mommy. Her mother does, you know. The ladies do step up when we guys, you know, have a lot of, you know, stuff handling. So I had to give kudos to her mom for, you know, raising her, because even when, you know, it's hard for us to be there, the moms basically take care of. So hats off to all mothers.
Definitely. Was it last week that was Mother's Day? I think it was almost last week. So, you know, belated Mother's Day shout out to everybody. Yeah. Definitely. So we're looking out for our new project that's going to be coming up, and don't have any solid shows or anything. I know a lot of people have been saying we need you in UK, we need you in this place. I've been watching the comments there. They want you back on the road, man.
I know. This too shall pass, and when everything happens, and we're gonna get through this one day.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, man. Well, is there... Oh, you know what? I want to shout out to one young lady that's on the live. She's a co-worker of mine here on CaribbeanLIfeTV. Her name is Rebel Mass. Rebel Mass, I'm going to teach one thing from your show. She has a show on Saturdays. She has this question that always stands out to me. But it's Carnival Week, and that's why I am going to shout out Rebel Mass, because she is the Carnival Pretty Mass brand ambassador. And in her show, she always likes to ask, what was one moment in Carnival that really stood out for you? That's her Carnival Tabanka segment. So I'm definitely alluding to that. What's one moment in Carnival that you, or in any of your shows, that really stood out to you?
I have two things that stood out. Number one, I want to tell everybody, dreams do come true, and just if your heart is pure and you keep to what you want to do, it will open up. You know, the universe, God will put things with people in your life, will remove people in your life that are not supposed to be there, that blocking things. People will, you understand, and at the end of the day, when you end up going where you end up going, those are there with you as those that are supposed to be there. I always saw myself on stage, like people coming to see me in a concert. And then my first year being able to do my show in St. Lucia called Euphoria, my first year, on a Thursday night. St. Lucia is pretty small, so we had like 1,500 people come out on a Thursday night just to see me. Either, you know, and this show grew over the years. You know, it got bigger and bigger where we had to go outside. You know, and it became one of the biggest shows for St. Lucia Carnival, which is Euphoria. Last year we had numbers like probably close to 9,000 people. You know, I brought Kes surprised everyone. I had lyrical voice, Black Urfin. It was just a beautiful event, and it's love. One of the biggest moments for me was this year when I got to bring my band to Trinidad to open for Kes Tuesday on the Rocks. It was an emotional time for me. I cried like a little girl on stage, but the reason why, because I remember how long I've been knocking on that door, and it's not to come in to take anybody's spot, but it's coming to say, hey, I'm from St. Lucia, and this is what I do. This is my contribution, to the art form. So me being on stage and doing it with my band flew in from St. Lucia, everybody, because when I'm in Trinidad, I'm on the front line, I'm in the forefront. I'm in one of the four in the All-Stars with Blacks and the All-Star team. So I want to big up Blacks, for giving me that opportunity also. But for Tuesday on the Rocks, my entire band flew to Trinidad, and we had a 45-minute to 50-minute set. And to do a 45-minute to 50-minute set in Trinidad is history. It's never, as a small island person, or as they say, like an outsider. But we ain't got none of that. But it's different. But when I stood up on that stage and I saw like 20,000 people in front of us, my band was just like, like we really did it, and I'm putting out that documentary soon. It's a nice half an hour documentary that I just got. So people are gonna see, that little journey in what we did in Trinidad. The proudest moment for me was being able to represent St. Lucia on a stage like that, with my entire band. I want to big up Kes, the band, and the whole team, for trusting me and trusting that we would be able to handle our own and do what we did. And that's what we did.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is so moving. Everyone is like, you're manifesting your vision, speaking it into existence. Everyone's commenting.
You have to do it. If you don't say you're going to do it, it ain't gonna happen. You gotta say. You have to say. You have to declare it. You have to stand on it. And there's something I call I call it the PP rule. You understand? PP rule for me is the purpose placement rule, which means when you understand your purpose, you're going to place yourself, or your purpose will allow you to place yourself in the places that you're supposed to be. You understand? When you understand what you did. So for me knowing what I wanted to do, I had to be in certain areas. My networking had to be different, I had to be with people that had the same like-minded vibe like me. You understand? People like Kerwin Dubois gave me that opportunity to work with him. My first song with Kerwin Dubois, I got to produce Magnetic with Kerwin. Then I co-produced Arrogant with Kerwin. Then I produced the Haze Rhythm with Fetland and Hold On To Your Belly, with Fetland, Kerwin, and Kes. These are people, Kerwin is people, that's my idol and people that I look up to because of the classic songs that he has. And I wanted my music to be like that. People like Edwin Yearwood, that's classics right there. I want songs that people can sing after 5-6 years. You know, I don't want a hot thing now and then when you hear the shout, it's a different thing. So for me, I just wanted to do something a little different and be in a position where people can, the music can live and the music can breathe. That's what I wanted.
Right. Well, you're definitely doing that. As I mentioned, I mean, just as what you've witnessed so far, just this year, and how relevant your music is, even though it was 5 years ago that you released it, it's still bubbling, it's still inspiring. You know what? One last thing I wanted to ask, what's it like being a cultural ambassador? What exactly is a cultural ambassador?
Well, for me, the name cultural ambassador is just a heading. It's nothing different. It's just an official heading, but it's nothing different that I've been doing before. I've always been, anytime I perform or I touch stage, I tell people the first thing, my name is Teddyson John and I'm from the beautiful island of St. Lucia. They know, you understand? So for me, the government over here just decided to give us, that official, heading. You understand? So I'm one of the official heads of it. You understand? Motto also representing the Denry vibe, For me, is just being able to be that person that, would be able to sell St. Lucia anytime. But I've always been doing that and inviting people to St. Lucia, inviting people to our vibe, our home. So it's nothing different. It was just what you call that?
A title?
Yeah, a title, Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. All right, so I did tag your Instagram in the bottom part here, but is there anything else that you want people to follow? Maybe a SoundCloud or website, anything like that?
Well, my website is been currently worked on right now and revamped right now. When it's done, it's Teddyson John, www.teddisonjohn.com, and you can also click on my my concert page, which is Euphoria. Also, you can check it out. Because that's where I have the name of my concert is called Euphoria, and Euphoria Land is our IG as well. I just wanted to thank all the fans, all the supporters for allowing me to do me, not asking me to be anything else but me, and making me be more comfortable in what I do. I've been inspired. I have some songs coming out that I'm very excited about because it's all what I was going to release for St. Lucia Carnival. I put that aside, and I just started to have new visions. New visions. On an afternoon, I go to the beach alone. Go in the water, chill out, watch the sun go down, blue water, relax. Talk to God, relax, take in everything, and just be grateful for the small things. My first release was called I Pray. That was done by Static. And it's the truth. You give thanks to the small things. A lot of things that we take for granted, a lot of people can't do. I have a line in there which says I can open up my fridge and have something to eat. Some people can't do that. I can log off my eyes and have somewhere to sleep. Some people can't do that. It may be very simple, but I'm happy and grateful. At the end of the day, I go down on my knees and pray. So check out the music and share it, and don't be afraid to say hi. You know what I mean? More music coming. Stick to the page. Follow me at Teddyson John. There's a lot. There's something beautiful coming in. And I hope that the soca world fraternity would be proud, and everybody in Atlanta would support, and it's beautiful.
Most definitely. Teddyson John, thank you so much for joining us on Caribbean Life TV. It was just amazing to really kind of dig in and kind of get to know you and your background and explore your repertoire. I'm like, whoa, I need to know more. I really need to go back in time with your music and keep going forward and move forward. Hey. But it's definitely a good, healthy dose of inspiration, grounded, sexiness, vibes, all of that. So
thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. So keep doing you, and thank you for being brave enough to be you. You said thank you to your fans for accepting you and loving you, but thank you for being you, being the different.
Yeah, it can. You can definitely. Influencers can really take you certain places. You got to have, a good testicular fortitude to be able to stand firm and be, So for me, I'm just grateful everybody accepted me for that, and everybody know who I am in the industry. So I ain't got to change, People just allowing me to do my vibe, so I'm happy about that.
Right. Well, much love. And continue to stay strong and keep this creative juices flowing. We can't wait till you get there.
I'm actually on my way to rehearsal right now. To work
on your way where?
I'm on my way to rehearsal right now.
Okay.
To work on something that I'm preparing for you guys. So, yeah.
We are so excited for you to hit the road. Welcoming you back to Atlanta.
How many followers does CaribbeanLIfeTV have?
We're constantly growing. I don't remember how much it was. It was quite a few thousand, but I don't.
When I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, I need everybody on CaribbeanLIfeTV to tune in.
Okay.
So I'm gonna send you it, and you get everybody on this station to put it in to view it, because it's gonna be beautiful.
All right, send it to us. Go send it in the DM.
I'll send it. I'll let you know.
Okay, wicked. Well, thank you so much. Get to rehearsal. We love you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Much love, much love. Enjoy. All right, take care. Yes, buddy. So that is Teddyson John. Guys, if you have not yet followed Teddyson John, make sure you follow him now. I tagged his Instagram to the bottom of the page. This is your girl Cherrie Garden, right here on Caribbean Life TV. And you know, we try to do this every Wednesday. And on Thursday we have Rose Solo with her show. And then on Fridays we have The Lime. And Saturday we have Rebel Mass with On the Road with Rebels. So definitely shout it out to Rebel Mass today, because we did teach something from our show. Nobody don't tell us every teach the question. All right, everybody, stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep it locked to Caribbean Life TV. Bye.